Hello. Now we will see how to create a Swagger document using our application. For that, we need to add some dependencies. So dependencies like Spring Fox Swagger 2 we need to add, and the version 2.9.2 we can add, and in market 3 dot and upper versions also available, but I am adding 2.9.2 and Spring Fox Swagger UI. For this dependencies, if you are visiting Swagger start.spring.io, you may not find Swagger 2 or other versions. For that, what you have to do is you have to visit mvnrepository.com. Here you can find out whatever the versions based on your required versions, you can select it. So here I am going to select 2.9.2. You can find out whether this is available in this or not. It is available. You click on this and it will show Spring Fox Swagger UA. Similarly, whichever the dependency you want, Spring Fox Swagger to, you need to search over there. Since I already copied from there, I am going to add these dependencies in our form.xml. So go to form.xml and add the dependencies under web. You can put it under web. So 2.9.2, 2.9.2 Swagger UI and Swagger 2. Now we have added Swagger dependencies. Since we are having dependencies, we need to enable Swagger in this application. So for that you need to define at the rate enable Swagger 2. You have to define like this. And here you need to import enable Swagger 2 related. Since it will take some time, but it will give. The Spring Fox documentation enable Swagger 2, it is there. So it got imported. So now we have added dependencies. We are enabled Swagger. Now this is perfectly defined. With this, we need to start the student application and we can verify under which port it is working or not. Then go here. Once the server is started, go to Postman and verify. And this is server started and it is under 8043. So what you have to do is go here and 8043 and you can project name is like a V2 version, Swagger 2 version and API docs. You can click this one and this is a get type and 8043 API V2 API documentation. Ideally, it should get. We'll try with the post. Okay, we'll see. See this one because that URL was incorrect. See, now we have got the Swagger document and reading these documents quite somewhat difficult here. So what you can do, you can take this one and go to editor.swagger. So as I told you in earlier session, editor.swagger you have to go. So editor.swagger, you can type, you can copy and paste, and this is the your exact swagger document, and whatever the methods available in your controller, these are the methods: get, post, put, delete. These are the options. You can see these are the services you have developed as part of student project. And if you are seeing, get a list of students, and by seeing this, everyone will understand that what are the inputs and what is the URL type. So this is a hello list of students. This is the URL, and it will also show the errors if any 400 error is available or not. All the errors it will show. So if you can see here, this is a 200 success. 200 means a success. And if it is a post related, if any other, see 201 created, 401 unauthorized, 403 forbidden, 404 not found. So something similar to this, errors will be shown separately. At the same time, all the operations whatever the controller defined. So in future, if you are going to implement one more method, then you have to generate the document, because manually preparation documentation is somewhat difficult, and this document will form a bridge between the consumer and the producer or the server, because consumer, as a producer, as a service developer, you are going to hand over this swagger document to consumer. So consumers are going through this swagger documentation, and based on that, they will go through these operations: get, post, put, delete. If it is a CRUD operations or not, whatever the operations, they will go through, and accordingly, this one they will use as a reference, and they are going to develop the consumer side or client side programming. That means this is one of the important document between the service development and consumer development. It is more useful for the consumers, but this document need to generate from the server side, service side. So it is the responsibility of the producers. They need to develop. Suppose in future if they are going to add some more services, they need to develop those services and they need to generate the document. Then this swagger document they need to give it to the consumers. Based on the swagger document only, consumer team is going to develop the project and they will test it. So suppose if they wanted to test here, get, you want to test as a get. Suppose here list of students you want to test. So you can give a try it out, and then you can give the execution. Here you can see the execution. Then you will be able to see the HTTP localhost 8043. So since we did not give any HTTPS, we can go and hit postman. Then you can go and hit get, and you need to remove the yes, because we are testing it in local, so it always consider HTTP. Then see, you are getting the list of student details. So in real time also they are referring from this swagger document, and they will pick the required URLs, and they will develop the consumer, and they will also verify what kind of input request is needed. See, input request is like a STD address, STD name, STD number. So based on that, a client team or open fine or a consumer can understand, okay, we need to develop as a one student object which is having some properties. This is how consumer team is referring the Swagger document. That is the reason we are saying Swagger document is very, very important for API implementation and for documentation. Swagger is for documentation purpose and design purpose, implementation purpose. So it would be very useful for non-technical people and technical people, and this is the document everyone is going to refer in a project. It could be like yeah, the main point is it is human readable. Even manager or non-technical people also can easily go through what are all the list of operations are available and list of errors and list of request and response. So it is very easy way to communicate between the producer and the consumer. So consumers always demand the producer saying that when are you going to give the Swagger document. Then if the Swagger document is readily available, they will give it. If any updates are there, then with the updates they will give the Swagger document to the consumers. Then consumers will go through this Swagger document and they are going to prepare all these services, whichever the services. If they are having any issues, whatever I tested like Postman or browser, they will be testing. Only the thing is they need to, if they are testing with HTTPS, it may not work. But in real time big applications and all, HTTPS security is very important. They will ensure. This is what a Swagger documentation creation using your project itself, because this is a convenient way to create. Some people will create manually also without taking any help from the project workspace. They will create in they will directly go to editor.swagger.io website, and there itself they will be able to create it. But that is a time consuming process. But if you follow the approach like you can add the required dependencies and you can enable the Swagger, then you will be able to create the Swagger document and you can give it to the consumer team. As a producer, you can develop, you can generate the document and you can give it to the consumer. This is about the Swagger design document or Swagger creation of the document. And based on this what it will happen is we can preserve the documentation, and we can, whoever is requesting, we can provide this documentation, and this Swagger document is going to talk about entire project. If they are having 100 services, this Swagger document will be having 100 services. Suppose if it is a complicated, they will create multiple controllers and multiple design documents, Swagger documents. That's all. This is about a Swagger documentation. Till then, thank you.